Welcome to Philadelphia. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice, like a trumpet, saying, "Write what you see in a book, and send it to the 7 churches, to Ephesus, and to Smyrna, and to Pergamum, and to Thyatira, and to Sardis, and to Philadelphia, and to Laodicea." This video is about Philadelphia. The ancient city of Philadelphia can be found in what is modern Al-Shasir. The Acropolis of the city is at the spur of the Tumulus Mountain. Junctions of several major roads led to Philadelphia. It was the gateway to the region of Phrygia, another section of the rest of Asia Minor, and to the points east, even far beyond that. The only ruins that we see of ancient Philadelphia are from the 600s. You can see them right here, humbly sitting next to a bus stop. These ancient ruins tell of the illustrious past of this ancient city. The youngest of the 7 churches in Revelation, it was founded in 189 BC by the king of Pergamum. King Eumenes II named it after his brother and successor, Attalus II. Because he did not betray his brother and side with the Romans, Eumenes called his brother Philadelphus, which means one who loves his brother. And so he named this newfound city after his beloved brother. Attalus III is known for having bequeathed Pergamum and the cities of his kingdom, Sardis, Thyatira, and Philadelphia, bequeathing it to Rome. Philadelphia had a nickname. It was Little Athens. In 100 BC, there was over 10 temples to gods and goddesses within Philadelphia. By 19 AD, there was no Lydian language, the native language of the area, spoken in Philadelphia or in that region. It had all become Greek in speaking. Up to 600 AD, known for being the center of Greek culture and language, with festivals and temples, this earned it the title Little Athens. 17 AD, an earthquake shook Sardis and devastated the city of Philadelphia as well. Many people fled the city and lived out in the countryside. Others still remained within the city, though it was devastated. They remained and were faithful there. The Emperor Tiberius, in an effort to help rebuild the cities, as he did in Sardis, remitted taxes for several years and was honored and celebrated by the city. Later on, even Caligula and Vespasian would add funds and benefits to this city, Vespasian even giving them the nickname Flavia, which means golden, a reflection of himself. So beloved was this city. By 200 AD, it was called Neocorinth, or Temple Sweeper, with a temple to the Emperor Calacara, or Marcus Aurelius, as we also know him. You can see some of the pictures here. There's pillars of an ancient basilica from 600 AD. In the center, you can see some of the frescoes and paintings of the various saints, and then some of the stone artwork that was part of that amazing basilica. Let's talk about the 4 remaining pillars of St. John's Basilica. This was a 600 AD church in the Byzantine Empire, and all that remains of the city of Philadelphia, the ancient city, are these 4 pillars. If we remember our Roman history, this would typically be a place of civil magistrates, royalty, or military, taken over by the Christians after 300 AD, when Christianity became a legal form of worship, and the emperor himself, Constantine, began to worship Christ. These basilicas were taken over by Christians and made into churches. We can see now, 300 years later, during the time of the Byzantine Empire, these pillars still remain. Asian temples and pillars were made to withstand earthquakes after the effects of the earthquake that happened in 17 AD, which shook the foundations of Philadelphia to the ground. The city and many around learned in Asia Minor how to make solid pillars. They learned that the foundation of the pillars needed to be set on charcoal covered with fleece. This would allow the pillar to float as if it was on a raft. Then each block was joined by another with metal cramps, so that the platform was one unity. This made the pillars the strongest part of temples. We can see that in regards to these basilica pillars, some of the most secure in the city. We see this rendition of what the basilica looked like. You can see where the pillars would have fit in. Let's talk about Byzantium, Philadelphia, 325 AD to 1453 AD. Emperor Constantine moved the center of the Roman Empire to Constantinople. That was moving it from where we see here, Rome in Italy, all the way over here to Asia Minor. However, by 395 AD, the empire was divided west and east. This is when we begin to hear of the Western Empire, the Roman Empire, and the Eastern Empire, later to be known as the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire thrived at the fall of Rome in the west, lasting over 1100 years. We can see from this map of the empire in 600 AD, the red arrow pointing to where Philadelphia would be. It would be later taken by the Turks in 1074 AD, recovered once again by the Byzantine Empire in 1098 AD during the First Crusade, held by the Byzantines even during several rebellions in 1100 to 1200 AD. This would become the center of the Eastern Orthodox Church after the schism in 1100 AD between East and West of the Church. Philadelphia became the center of the oldest diocese for the Eastern Orthodox Church in Asia Minor. In 1190, it became what is called a metropolis, or a capital, for the church, and remained as a chief city and a territory there for many centuries. It stayed a metropolis even after the conquest of the Turks in the 14th century. And the Christian population, though it declined, most other metropolises became obsolete, except Philadelphia remained. Isolated and surrounded by Turkish states, it still remained a metropolis of the church. So influential was the church within the city itself that Theoleptus in 1293 AD, who was a scholar of the church and part of the metropolis, played an important role in the defense of the city by the besieging Turks in 1310, and he was called the savior of the city. When the Turkish Ottoman Empire took over, it was a peaceful transition for Philadelphia and for the metropolis there of the church. By 1725, and all the way up to the 19th century, there was 19 churches, 14,000 people who were serving the Lord, with 25 parishes and 23 priests in that region. Philadelphia still being the metropolis of the church in that area. Revelation 3, 7-13. And to the angel of the church of Philadelphia write the words of the Holy One, the true one, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one opens. I know your works. Behold, I have set you before an open door, which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Behold, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. Behold, I will make them come and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you. Because you have kept my word about patient endurance, I will keep you from the hour of trial that is coming on the whole world, to try those who dwell on the earth. I am coming soon. Hold fast what you have, so that no one may seize your crown. And the one who conquers, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. Never shall he go out of it. And I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down from my God out of heaven, and my own new name. He who has ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. May the Lord bless you after you've learned a little bit more about Philadelphia.